I got love for you, man. You know what I'm saying?
What are we talking about? You know, I'm not here to start any trouble.
I'm only going to say nice things about you from now on. I think you're handsome, and I think you're a wonderful host.
I'm fat and I'm overweight. Just don't say anything silly.
I was waiting for you to say that.
I'm not laughing about it. You think this is funny? I take it serious.
You know, I don't want y'all to take anything out of context that I'm saying.
He's very funny. He likes to joke around a lot.
As a personality and as an entertainer, yes.
This is going to be really quick. I'm not taking any questions.
Go ahead and get comfortable. I'm going to talk for a little bit.
You're listening to Cabbie Presents, the podcast.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for checking in with me. I'm your host, Cabbie Richards, and this is the show I present to you. Appreciate the new subscribers. We got a bunch recently on iTunes, so thank you and welcome. On this show, we explore pop culture, tell stories, mix in some sports, and cross the line often. You can find me on Twitter at TheRealCabbie, TheRealCabbie, and on Instagram, the same, TheRealCabbie, Cabbie with two B's, IE. Justin Timberlake crashed the internet. No, I mean not the internet, but he crashed some websites when he dropped his new single, Suit and Tie, featuring Jay-Z. It just came out of nowhere, and there's this really funny video that I saw on YouTube maybe about 7 or 8 months ago, and it was a plea from a group of people, please, Justin Timberlake, record some new music, because they were starving. So, Suit and Tie. So he dropped Suit and Tie with Jay-Z, his first single in 6 years. And it'll be 7 years since his last solo album, Future Sex, Love Sounds. And it's like, it comes at a great time. And, you know, actually it was just in, and this is sort of unrelated. I was in Vancouver a few days ago. And I discovered that Ryan Kessler is in charge of the pregame skate music. So the music that the players, when they skate out onto the ice, the music that's playing in the arena, because I met the head of the DJ, the DJ at the Rogers Arena, so the DJ or the producer asked Kessler, Manny Malhotra, and Jason Garrison what they wanted in the pregame skate. I was standing right next to him in the hallway, and Garrison replied simply, I just want what Kess and Manny want. Hip hop, hip hop, hip hop. Which was kind of surprising. I didn't know that that's what Kessler wanted. Malhotra, I could see it. You know, he's a contemporary sort of dude. We've been out once, and that was the music I was playing at the particular spot we were at. And but many people probably don't know that Jason Garrison occasionally jumps on the turntables and DJs at parties. Anyway, back to Justin Timberlake and back to Suit and Tie, getting his grown man music on. Jay-Z's verse was so smooth. Dude's like, it's truffle season. Tom Ford's tuxes for no reason, or tuxedos for no reason. This just kills it. Beat slows down. I'm sure everybody's heard the song by now, and I'm not telling them anything new. And there was a time when I had to ask a female friend of mine to buy Justin Timberlake's first CD, Justified, from an HMV for me. Because I couldn't, this is 2003, this is like 10 years ago. And I didn't want to lose man points by buying the album of a former boy band star. At the time, 10 years ago, it just wasn't, I don't know if college or university age men listen to which would be like Justin Bieber, singing a beat in a beat, a beast in a beat, or whatever that song is, or the Boyfriend remix. I don't know if dudes do that now. So 10 years ago, I was really apprehensive about walking into HMV and laying down $14.99 to pick up that blue case, that blue CD, Justin Timberlake's Justified. But did I ever wear that out though? It's, in 2003, I'm a few years removed from university, and I was still big on making mixed CDs. And there were mixed CDs. There's there's the sort of the smooth, just a chilling out kind of CD, just when you're just in the company of, of a young lady. And then there's like Close the Bedroom Door CD. And I had a few staples, like not everything, but a few tracks after Rock Your Body. That it's like Rock Your Body was like the midway point. Like Rock Your Body and earlier were like the smooth kind of chilling songs. You could even play like Cry Me a River, in the chill sort of session. But then after Rock Your Body, it was let me close the door to the bedroom and turn the lights out. You know what I mean? And like, I don't know if this is okay. So when you're making playlists now for, John Mayer has a CD called The Village Sessions. If you're making a playlist called like The Bedroom Sessions or Late Night Hangouts, some people who like the kind of music that I like put on, like R&B or or like some kind of chill type of music that puts you in a certain zone. And like the great thing about music is that there's an abundance of it. And like even though you get attached to certain artists or a certain particular set of songs and it invariably becomes the soundtrack for your life at that moment, there's always new music on the horizon. Like the next Michael Jackson isn't even born yet. So there's like, here's the trick. Okay, so I'm getting to this point about making playlists and listening to music when you have certain company over. Like when you're spending time with like a new lady and you spend a considerable amount of time with her, weeks and months, and it's going down the road into like the girlfriend neighborhood, do you still play music that's like 5 or 10 years old? So like are you gonna play like a Amy Winehouse record or Lady Antebellum or Usher, like Confessions, or even like Coldplay, like whatever your musical tastes are? Do you still play that music from 5 or 10 years ago when you're in a different time of your life? Like that could be music that you really love and you have a close bond to, but at that time in your life, there was someone else that was in your life. So do you play that music for this new person? And like for me, I don't want the person that I'm with to be drifting back to a place where she reminisces about spending time with another person. Like, it was hard enough for me to get to spend time with her in the first place, and my ego's so fragile that I can't, like, take her committing carnal thoughts to a previous lover. I can't handle that. So, the great thing about music is there's always something new that's coming, and great artists generally put out great music. And if the whole CD isn't great, there usually are a few standout tracks. And then there are always new people to emerge. So, Justin Timberlake, I'm sure you're going to make a lot of people happy when you drop your new CD. I think it's called 2020 or something like that, but I'm not entirely sure. Anyway, moving on from the music. The NHL is back! And one of its biggest stars makes his second appearance on Cabbie Presents. Before I get to that, this is going to sound dated in about 12 hours, but the biggest stories of the year so far in 2013 are Lance Armstrong comes clean on Oprah, and Manti Te'o, the linebacker from the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, got caught up in a whole catfish hoax and created a fake girlfriend, or got duped by a fake girlfriend. Details are murky, but thankfully to an exhaustive article from some authors, some writers from Deadspin, it shined a light on this very, very bizarre tale. I have my own story about a catfish situation, as I'm sure many guys do. Like, since the explosion of the Book of Faces, I'm sure these stories are more common than we think. In any crew, there's one buddy who maybe he hasn't admitted it yet, but one guy got caught up in, clicking on some photos and then forming some kind of online relationship with some girl and blah, blah, blah. And come to find out, she's not who she says she is. Manti Te'o is the watershed moment, moving into the spotlight, some of the seedy corners of deception and online creeping. So thank you, dude. It is now a conversation piece. I'll get to my own story about my catfish situation, and we have a few more stories with my first guest, who's on the line right now.
If it's going to be an interview, I'm going to conduct it. So I'll answer my own questions, ask myself the questions, then give y'all the answers.
In the world of social, there are few professional athletes that dominate a conversation like this man, with the endearing quality of self-deprecation coupled with the confidence of one Kobe Bean Bryant and the wit of Van Wilder. His life off the ice is similar to a beer commercial, or so it seems. He is living a dream. Even though the first target of his barbs and his jokes is himself, he is in the top 1% in the world playing the game called hockey. Paul Bissonnette returns. How are you, dude?
That was an unbelievable intro, by the way.
Where does that rank in the introductions that you've had in? Well, I'm gonna say in the media, not in like real life.
Considering I wrote it, I mean, not very high.
Hey, where in the world?
You got my email though.
I did get it, and you write wonderfully, so thank you for that. Yeah. Where in the world are you?
I'm in Dallas, Texas. Here we start the season here tomorrow, and I'm pretty excited. I got my own room now because of the new CBA. All the players get their own room. So
what? Every player gets their own room?
Everyone. I'm a little lonely, except for guys on entry-level contracts.
Yeah. So rookies, right? Rookies don't get their own room.
Most of the time, there's only one guy with an entry-level contract on a team, for the most part. So basically, everyone gets their own room. So
who are you gonna miss, Paul? Like who are your former roommates?
I'm glad you called because I'm pretty lonely. It's always nice having someone to converse with, and last year Gilbert Brule was my roommate, and he was always good for a few laughs because he's kind of a space cadet. So,
but is he on that Ilya Brizgalov level?
No, we're not even close. He's on the same planet.
So he's in the same galaxy as Brizgalov, but not so close to the sun.
Well, I wouldn't wish rooming with Brizgalov on my worst enemy just because of the amount of conversation and awkwardness that would go on. But goalies in the NHL have always had their own room.
Oh, well, that's interesting. I didn't know that. I don't think anybody knew that.
I mean, it's almost like a starting pitcher kind of thing. You kind of just let them be. So it's not like he ever had a roommate where you could discuss it with them what it was like. So that's probably a good thing, though.
But okay, so
maybe he has, but they're not alive to talk about it.
So wait, you said Gilbert Brule was your roommate last year, but do you miss him?
Yeah, well, he was a good guy. He was a funny guy. Like he always gets to see good stories. He's got a girlfriend now, so he's a little more.
So he's changed. He's changed, is what you're saying.
Yeah, good though. She's a really nice girl. She was there in Phoenix last year. So, but I do miss having a roommate. I miss that camaraderie and the jokes and the pranks and things like that. I'm
speaking with Paul Bissonnette of the Phoenix Coyotes, social celebrity at Biznasty 2.0 is his Twitter handle, and at Biznasty is where you find his life in pictures on Instagram. What have you been doing all day?
Today we had a short skate. It was probably about 45 to an hour. Got off, went and ate a little bit, took a plane to Dallas, and that was that. But it was good. It was good being back on our plane and just road tripping with the boys. I think we're going for dinner at Nobu, so it should be pretty fun.
Oh, nice. Wait, so it's a night in Dallas, going to Nobu. I've been to Dallas a couple of times, and what I noticed about that place is like groups of girls just roll, and there are like a lot of groups of girls, of women that are just out. And I didn't see a lot of mixed groups. Like I just see like squads of women, and I was like, wow, this place knows how to do it.
I've actually never been out in Dallas. I've talked to guys who've played here and who have been out here. They said it's awesome. They said that ratio in bars are usually 2-3 to 1 girls to guys.
That's a beautiful place.
Right, and like I said, I've talked to guys who've played here and they love it. And and you can't go wrong with the Southern Belles with blonde hair, big boobs, nice bodies. So, I mean, what's not to like?
What is not to like? So I was reading a couple of days ago that fresh for 2013, the British magazine called Town and Country named Prince Harry the world's most eligible bachelor in 2013. I'll read you a couple of other notables on this list, and then give me your thoughts. Number 2 is Adam Scott, who's the Australian golfer. At the 11 is Jeremy Lin, who plays for the Houston Rockets. Number 17, Tim Tebow, who sort of plays for the New York Jets. At 33 is George Clooney, which I think is ridiculous. And 36, Jack Nicholson. Your thoughts on Prince Harry being number 1?
Okay, well, I'm going to go right to George Clooney. I wouldn't say he's a most eligible bachelor just because he'll never get married. He's just going to enjoy it and do it the way a lot of people should.
Right.
Especially if they're in Hollywood.
Right. Or a professional athlete.
Right. But here's the thing. When you're a professional athlete, you're known for the length of your career, maybe a little bit after, but then it just becomes normal life. When you're like George Clooney, it will never be reality. It's always going to be movie stars, banquets here, meeting the president there. So, why would you ever? I mean, right now he's got, I think, Stacey. Are they still together, him and Stacey Keebler?
I'm not sure, because if he's on this list, it makes me feel like they've broken up, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, but, hey, listen, if you're not married, you're single. That's the way I look at it.
No, but as far as Prince Harry is concerned, I would say definitely, just because he's a prince, I guess, and that's kind of that turns girls on.
Oh yes, and, being a part of the royal family, 100%.
Right, and I just think that how he's got that the crazy side to him. I think that's what's intriguing, and I think he'd be probably for girls a fun guy to be around and interesting, not just one of those people in the royal family who would be boring and not have any fun. Like, I mean, you saw his trip to Vegas. I mean, that's the way a lot of people like to do it, and with him being under the radar, he'd still probably be a good time.
Paul, what would you have to do to get your name on that list? It's the top 40 most eligible bachelors in the world, according to the magazine Town and Country. What would you have to do to get on that list?
Probably win a scoring title this year. I mean, my odds are in my favor as far as years are concerned, because you only got half. So if I really bear down and focus on the 48 games here, it's possible.
So winning the scoring title. Wait, so you're talking about winning the scoring title in the NHL, not off the ice, in the real world, or yeah.
No, in order to get on that list, it would definitely have to be on the ice.
On the ice. Okay.
Yeah.
On the ice. So, well, good luck to you, man. 48 games. It's entirely conceivably possible.
I think that you said that was a UK magazine.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because it does seem a little biased. Because is Ryan Gosling a bachelor or no?
I think he's dating Eva Mendes, but according to your wonderful quote, if you're not married, you're single, then technically he would be single.
Right, but you don't hear there's no movie stars on the list besides Clooney. Why would the golfer be on it? There's a lot of other people that could be up there instead of him.
Do you think any other athletes should be on this list? Who's the most eligible bachelor in the NHL? Do you know? Can you, other than yourself, because you live the life, your life is unbelievable.
No, yeah, I wouldn't even be close, because you got to get someone who's a good-looking guy, I would probably, I don't know. Well, I mean, I played with Taylor Pyatt last year, but he's got a girlfriend.
Right.
But if we're going to my rules, where if you're not married, you're single, I'd say Taylor Pyatt's got to be up there.
Because he's a good-looking dude.
And he's a great guy.
He's a great guy.
You can't go wrong with Taylor Pyatt.
I mean, I don't know if you have a direct line to Alex Ovechkin, but it's too bad you didn't get to him sooner, because he is now engaged to his girlfriend. I mean, but still, as your rule, it's he's
on the way. No, but good for him, man. I mean, retirement set. You know, he's doing well. He's doing well for himself. She's a beautiful girl, and it's always nice when you're an athlete to meet another attractive athlete, because you know, you're kind of you know what it's about. You understand the stretch situations of it. So that I bet you that'll work out well. No, I'm being dead serious. I'm not kidding.
So I don't know if you saw this, but last week on Conan O'Brien's show, Ricky Gervais was on, and they decided to get into a bubble bath on the set, like on the show, and then they took it was a hilarious moment, and then they took one of those selfies that generally like women take.
Oh yeah, well he does it all the time. Weird pictures in the bathtub, that Ricky Gervais.
Oh, does he actually? That's kind of his thing. I didn't know that.
I don't. Yeah, he does it on Twitter all the time. It's always like the same picture, and it's like him, half of his face inside the bathtub, half is out. It's kind of creepy, but
it was a pretty funny moment. So who's the teammate that you could be in a similar situation with?
This is a suspect podcast. We're like grading guys, and
what are you talking? No, listen, we're not.
Now I just have to share a bubble bath with one of them. So you're saying if I had to take a bubble bath with one of my teammates, who would it be?
Yeah.
It would have to be someone small, so you'd be touching them as little as possible. That's kind of messed up, because that Conan O'Brien's like 6'5".
Yeah, he's a tall dude. So
there's not much room for his legs. Like, they were probably right in Gervais' kibbles and bits.
Yeah,
you know?
it was like a bag of asparagus. It was just all on top of each other.
Oh, I'm not answering that question. Okay. Next.
Who's the teammate that you feel is the most comfortable in their own skin? Okay, so who's the teammate that's the most comfortable being like naked in a room full of dudes?
It's weird. It's hard to explain to people who don't play sports, because like they're like, oh, you guys are showering naked together, but we're just so accustomed to it because, you know, you're in a locker room and that's what it is. So I'd say everyone, because it's you don't think twice. You know, you go take cold tubs. You know, you go take hot tubs and stuff like that. You're always.
Who's the most though, Paul? Who's the most on the Phoenix Coyotes?
I would say me for sure. Like, I have no problem being naked. But yeah, I don't know. Other than but it's not like everyone else isn't. Like, it's just, you know.
How long did it take you to reach that level of comfort with your teammates?
No, but man, we've been doing this since we were kids. Like, you know, after games, you go shower. You know.
You weren't.
Let's talk about something else.
Wait, but there are some guys that shower at home in like high school because they're not mature enough yet to be in a room.
And none of them made it to the NHL.
you might have a point there. All right, so let's talk about the strangest story to hit sports since I don't even know. I don't know. Like, this is one.
I would say minus the Sandusky trial.
Okay, well that's clearly like the most. That's like the most scandalous
because of the severity of it.
Of course.
But as far and I would say this is right up there with Tiger Woods' divorce.
Right. When the details unfolded about Tiger and like, you know, like the wife hit him in the face with a club and then he crashed his car down the street. We're like,
well,
what?
Even how it developed too. At first, it wasn't like that you didn't hear that right away, right? The story slowly came out, faster than how this Manti Te'o one is, and I think the whole issue is that the whole leukemia thing is because people want to know the truth now, because people put money into this too, right? People donated to a fund, right?
Yeah, I think it was about $3,000 or something like that they did.
Right.
Show some financial support to Manti Te'o. We're talking about the linebacker from Notre Dame, who's just in a absolute storm of controversy because it was discovered that he had a fake girlfriend for about 4 years, and the details of this. That when I first read that story,
no, I think it was about a year, wasn't it?
Well, they met, quote unquote, in 2009. Is like the first time he started talking about, or that was what he told. I think his dad had told someone in the media that it was 2009 that they locked eyes after after some event, like an awards ceremony or something, and he discovered that, or she went to Stanford, or I don't know. The details are so murky. But
regardless, the biggest issue for me is I want to hear this guy talk and explain himself, because, like, as absurd as it is, a star player at a NCAA, mind you, it's Notre Dame, one of the biggest schools
in college football, absolutely, yeah,
has a girlfriend he's never met for over a year, who he's never seen, like he's never Skyped with, and then goes on national television and gains sympathy from all these people about someone who's not even real and someone he's never met, and then claims he met. To me, it's just something's up. It doesn't add up, and I'm looking forward to hearing the truth, because, you know, I watched when they played Michigan, when they had that whole thing airing with him, his grandmother, and then his girlfriend die. You know, you get emotionally attached. You're like, wow, like, you're rooting for that guy because of that. And then for it to come out and be a lie, and him saying he met her, and then, I don't know, it's just, I want to hear the truth.
I don't know if, like, I mean, there are sort of two explanations, or two theories that are kind of bouncing around. One is that he was in on it, and this was like part of these two guys just a ploy to sort of curry favor from the public to help your Heisman campaign,
draft stock, everything,
all
right.
that. Yes, is what that. And then there's also like that other sort of unscrupulous character, the I'm not saying his name right, but the one dude who apparently connected Manti and the girlfriend, the fake girlfriend. Like, they need to get like that guy in front of a mic as well. And apparently,
well, I mean, and obviously he seems pretty scummy, so I'm sure you throw a couple $1,000 at him and he'll get in front of any TV camera.
Well, that's interesting.
I mean, yeah, I don't know what the initiative, like, what the whole point of this was. I just, like, I want to hear the guy talk and explain himself to why he lied about actually even meeting her, and it should be interesting.
But if he's okay, so here's the question. So it's either like Notre Dame's position is he was duped, then he found out on December the 6th that this person didn't exist. But, like, who was he talking to on the phone the whole time, right? That's, like, the thing. And, like, and what pictures was he getting to his phone? Because that's part of the landscape. It's like
Well, if you've seen any interviews he's done, you can clearly see he's not all there. I know he scored well on the SATs, but one reporter hit it on the head. They said he doesn't seem very socially inept. You know, he's not.
Or like socially adjusted?
I think the guy said socially. Like, yeah, like he just, like, I guess he's a homebody. He doesn't go out a lot. Like, you know, and if you're naive enough to date a girl for a year or over a year that you've never seen, is beyond me. Especially as an athlete, if you're some regular Joe and, you know, you live a pretty boring life, okay, maybe I could see maybe being somewhat naive because you had a hot girl online. But I got a funny.
Please share, please.
As dumb as this sounds, I have a buddy who got duped into something like this, very similar, but it wasn't as long.
Okay, what's the story?
Basically started dating this girl, I think it was about 3 or 4 months. One of my good buddies from back home, and all of our buddies were like, man, like, this chick's not real, because she kept thinking of excuses not to see him, da-da-da-da-da. He'd never Skyped with her, you know, they'd have phone sex and stuff, but he'd never seen her. So she canceled a couple trips. Then the final trip, when this kind of all started coming to a head, she said she was coming down. She said she lived in Sudbury. She said she was 30 minutes from his house, called him and said, oh my God, like, I had to turn around. My mother passed away.
Oh, wow. She went right to that, huh? Oh, my gosh.
She went right to that.
Oh, my
And he's
goodness.
like, well, what do you mean? He's like, we'll come here and I'll go back with you and like, we'll figure this out. I'll come, blah, blah, blah. No, like, made an excuse. I got to go back. I'm driving back. Went as far as to taking out a fake obituary in the Sudbury newspaper.
Come on. Are you serious?
Dead serious.
Wow.
And, yeah. So then this goes on for about another week. He's like, so he's trying to be sympathetic here. He he gets a call about a week later from her sister, and is like, hey, like, you know, I don't know who you are, but like, you know, we found some messages and stuff on a fake Facebook profile of on my sister's fake profile, because she was using a whole fake Facebook, and we just want to let you know that she's not who she's saying she is. This girl my sister lives in Niagara Falls. She works at the keg. So this chick ended up being some 300-pound chick who worked at the keg in Niagara Falls. So he like snapped on her, lost it on her. You know, and even went as far as to making like 6 or 7 other fake Facebook profiles.
Who, the same chick did?
Comment on her own wall. So because you know, you could tell if it's a fake profile on Facebook. She went as far as making up other people to like write on her own wall.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
Yeah. So I mean, he wasn't as invested as this Manti Te'o thing, but nonetheless, it's a pretty big wake-up call. It's like, Soik, like we told you, like, come on.
So that's like legit Catfish. Like, I don't know if you've seen that movie, but it's an unbelievable documentary about a guy who develops a relationship over the Book of Faces with a girl who says says she's someone who she's not, and steals photos from other people on Facebook and uses them as her pictures and her profile picture.
Well, this girl that I was telling you about, my buddy, she stolen about 1,000 pictures from a girl who was from Vancouver, BC. So she had her on Facebook, so every time this girl uploaded a picture, she would just steal them and put it on her fake Facebook.
Wow.
Like, this thing, like, okay, mind you, people are so, like, that's, like, messed up. That's, like, you have absolutely zero life if that's what you're doing. But on the other end, how do you get fooled this day and age with Skype, like, webcams? Like, come on. Like you're an idiot if you get duped into something like that. I'm sorry.
Has that ever happened to you? Like not where you develop a relationship, but have you had people that?
Oh, I've had fake Facebook profiles add me on Facebook. You're like, I don't. Okay, what 9 out of 10 hot chick just goes and adds a random dude on Facebook? Okay, 1 in a million.
Well, but
unless you've met her.
Okay, but you have like status though, and you have like visibility in the world, so they would want to attach themselves to you.
Well, when you add them and you look at the profile, you can tell within 30 seconds whether it's real or not.
Yeah, but
the people commenting, the context of it, what's on it.
But Paul, you just said how your friend was duped for like 3 or 4 months because she stole like 1,000 photos from this girl from Vancouver. So these other people who have all the time in the world to sit on their computers and just troll.
Yeah, but I mean, then again, I don't have the time to be answering people I don't know. You know.
Okay, well, for sure,
where I can have fun. You know.
Yeah.
But that's why I said if you have a boring life and you work a 9 to 5 and don't have the time to go out and meet girls and you don't have a social life, yeah, I could see why you could get duped into something like that. You know, it starts off slow and you believe it and you don't want it. People don't think about people in like a negative sense and think they're out to get you. Like we're human, you know. We think that people are in it for their best interest and to meet someone, not to just like, oh my God, I'm a fake person. I'm going to go find someone and lead them on this huge debacle, you know.
So okay. I have an admission. Okay, so here's my quick story. I'll tell you really quick. I once met. Well, I didn't actually meet this person, but connected with a person on Twitter who I was commenting on some soccer highlights. I saw some crazy soccer highlights, and this person that claimed to be from Philadelphia had seen some of my interviews with the Flyers. So I was like, well, can you help me speak? And she, this person was like funny or whatever. I was like, can you help me like translate some stuff so I can, tweet in Portuguese? Because this kid I liked his highlights was Brazilian. Anyway, we became like we started texting and all that sort of thing. But then it just got intense. Like this person who I just called the stalker to my friends was just like blowing up my phone like all the time. And then finally, like after like a few weeks, I was like, listen, I can't, like, this is like you feel like a girlfriend. Like, this is not what I'm trying to do. Like, you're helping me, tweet
Right.
some Brazilian soccer player. Now you like want to come visit me and stuff. And anyway, I called her the stalker, and dude, it just got like really intense. And when I told her, hey, I don't want to talk to you anymore, that's when it just like made a left turn like over the cliff, and this person was just went nuts. It was, I don't know if you've had one of those, because that's sort of the thing about Twitter Twitter is not as visual as, say, well, I guess let's say it's
Right.
Instagram or Facebook, where you see all these. So that's my personal experience, and I never met this person, but this person knew who I was, and they would send me, and I never Skype, none of that. I never did any of that. So I'm right in line with all these other guys that have been duped.
Like, to what you're saying, like, I've called, like, for instance, say Facebook, someone, like, there's been girls who have added me, and they're like, hey, what's up? And I don't respond, and then, like, something else, and then I'm like, listen, like, I know you're a fake person, just, like, get a life. And they get super defensive and freak out. Whereas if you were a real person, you would have just been like, okay, whatever, see you later. But they try to dupe you in. Yeah, like, it's a weird world, man.
Like,
people have a lot of time on their hands.
Well, yeah, I mean, and you get so much attention because of the visit your high profile in the social world.
If there's a hot girl on Twitter, like, I'll go and see if she's posted any pictures. If not, basically probably a fake profile. And then if you start talking to them and they don't have Facebook, then you know for sure. Like, oh no, I don't. What hot chick doesn't have Facebook?
Right, because a girl's favorite photo is one of herself. And women love, generally speaking, I don't want to cast aspersion on the entire gender, but women generally speaking,
if they're hot, they want to put pictures of themselves up there. They're a little self-centered. Big deal. Like, it's everyone. It's if you look good, post the pictures.
I'm on the phone with Paul Bissonnette of the Phoenix Coyotes. Speaking of hot girls and Twitter, during the Alabama and Notre Dame game, at what point did you become aware of the phenomenon that has become Katherine Webb, a.k.a. A.J. McCarron's current girlfriend? I say current because I think there's an expiry date on that one.
Well, right away I was watching it live, and I saw them show a picture of her and comment how that's what quarterbacks down south usually attract. And, yeah, I mean, I was impressed. I actually talked to a friend who did an interview with her after the fact, and she wasn't very humble.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, I'm not going to say any names, but I haven't talked to her. But I heard that she wasn't very humble, just kind of like basically said, like, girls from New York are trashy, and like, I don't know, and it kind of turned me off. It was basically pumping her own tires, and like I said, no humble pie there.
Can I guess at your friend's name, who did the interview with Katherine Webb? Can I get is it someone whose name rhymes with Karen Standrews?
Nope.
No, okay.
Not Aaron. It wasn't Aaron Andrews. No.
That's the only one. That's the only one I could come up with. Okay, so what were you thinking while she was exploding on Twitter during that game?
Well, it's just amazing the power of social media. Now, I mean, she's probably got close to 500,000 followers, I'm guessing.
I think you're close. Yeah, it's unbelievable. Yeah, so yeah, keep going. Yeah.
Well, and now she's got I thought it was ironic because, like I said, that interview that she was in, and she wasn't very humble about it. She was calling people from certain places trashy, and then she now took a spot in Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition.
But but you wouldn't consider that. That's not trashy though. Sports Illustrated swimsuit is like that's.
What I'm saying is like you're essentially just putting yourself out there like a piece of meat in order to sell magazines. I think that's hypocritical to call certain girls from around the country and stereotype girls from New York City to be trashy, and then take a job in Sports Illustrated to wear a bikini and show your tits and body off to the world. You know what I mean? Like, I have no problem with it. I'm just saying I think it's a little hypocritical to be going in interviews and trashing people, specifically women from certain areas of the country.
She's at 275,000 followers, Katherine Webb. So do you think ESPN should have apologized on behalf of Brent Musburger, or do you think what he's...
Absolutely not.
Me too. I'm with you on that. I thought that was...
If that was Carson, if that was... Who's the Palmer who does Monday quarterback for TSN?
Jesse Palmer.
If Jesse Palmer would have been the one saying that, there wouldn't have been an issue. But just because I guess the guy's a little older and he thought she was attractive and people thought it was creepy because he's older. Man, when I'm 70, I'm going to be a creep. I'm still going to know what a hot girl looks like. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
What, because I'm 60 now, I don't know what hot girls look like, and I can't, celebrate.
Yeah, and the weird thing is, like, she was Miss Alabama, so like she is used to putting herself out there for these what are known as beauty contests. So obviously she's used to it, and I personally didn't think what Brent Musburger did was offensive or anything, and I didn't feel that ESPN needed to apologize on his behalf.
If it wasn't for him, she wouldn't have that many followers and be giving all these new opportunities. So, if anything, even she said there wasn't an issue with it, and she said that people should lay off him.
How much does Musburger and the producer of that BCS championship game between Alabama and Notre Dame, how much do those two people, how much of a cut do they deserve on her future earnings? Like I'm thinking somewhere between 2% and 4% at the very minimum.
Yeah, I mean, there would be no earnings if it wasn't for them. I mean, that was the most exciting part of the game. That game was awful.
Yeah, you're right. And a friend of mine from Vancouver, actually, he's like, Cab, like, check out, because I was on my way, I don't know, I was on my way home or something, and I wasn't watching the game until, like, halftime, but he put me onto it. He's like, she's at 3,000, and she's gaining 1,000 followers a minute, and it was unbelievable to watch.
It was insane.
Yeah, it was crazy. And I know you were, didn't you tweet a picture of her, one of her, like, bathing suit pictures or something? Was that you?
Well, yeah, because I commented on how beautiful she was, and then someone's like, she's not that hot. So I tweeted a picture of that, and I'm like, oh, really? You don't think she's attractive?
I don't know if you've done this, but I've creepily checked out who she's following just to see what other, like, hey, there might be a Miss Nevada or a Miss Missouri.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I creeped some of her friends.
Yeah, so did I. And like one of them, I'm not gonna say her name, but one of them lives in Newport. In Newport Beach, and I immediately messaged some of my dudes that I know that live in Newport. I'm like, check this profile. Please tell me that you know this person. Blah blah blah. And this particular girl is going to the LA Kings home opener. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh, I guarantee I probably know who it is, but we can't say names on the podcast.
No. We can message.
Anyway,
we can message afterwards.
I got to go for dinner because we have an NHL hockey game tomorrow, which is exciting.
That is exciting. What are your what are your thoughts on your? Actually, I don't want to ask you one of those questions. I don't know if we've ever spoken about hockey, you and I ever.
Yeah, no hockey questions.
No, we'll just keep it to fun and girls and social media and
I want you to text me that name after this so we can see if we're on the same page.
Okay, will do. Paul Bissonnette.
Thank you.
My Biznasty, my dude. Appreciate you being on, man. We'll talk to you soon. And hey, listen, good luck in your pursuit of the 2013 Art Ross and Hart Trophy.
Thank you, sir.
Checking in at the start of the NHL season. We'll see if I can get him back on at the end to see how his pursuit of the scoring title shaped up. Paul Bissonnette, such a great guest. I could talk to that guy for hours. Endearing with his self-deprecation, he is the star in the social world, including Twitter, at Biznasty 2.0. That's Biznasty, the number 2, POINT, and then the number 0. At Biznasty 2.0, and on Instagram, just at Biznasty, Biznasty. His life, what he feels comfortable in sharing, is quite a trip. If you're listening to this podcast or on the radio, I know you're already following Paul Bissonnette, who plays for the Phoenix Coyotes, by way of Welland, Ontario, which is about an hour from Toronto. A 48-game NHL schedule awaits him and about 400 other dudes in hockey, and most Canadians, are excited and will return to watching the game that they love. It's in our DNA. As for our American homies, well, as you were. I'm Cabbie, and I'm gone.
Thank you for listening to Cabbie Presents, the podcast.